Good afternoon. Fade to Black breaking news for this Tuesday, January 23rd, 2024. This is all of the news that you need. I'm Jimmy Church. You know what to do. Help support the show. Get your Fade to Black T-shirts. Everything is signed, includes shipping. The links are below. 2 shirts, 2 ways to get them. Get your Fade to Black T-shirts today. Everything is in stock and shipping. All right. This week on Fade to Black, last night, Mary Rodwell. What an amazing show. Tonight, Whitley Strieber is with us. Tomorrow night, William Henry is back. And then Thursday, Sarah Breskman-Cosme. We will be discussing, and we have exclusive video of the regression of Mr. Church. And that is on Thursday night with Sarah. And let's get straight to it. Busy news day today. On this day in history, 1986, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland inducted its first class, which included Chuck Berry, Fats Domino, and the King, Elvis Presley, on this day in 1986. Here's your Fader fact. Check this out. In 1928, Idaho became the first state to introduce a stylized license plate, and they did it with a potato. And that is your Fader fact. By the way, I got rid of my squeaky desk. Smells of WD-40 in here, but no more squeaks. Yeah. It's a good day. Let's get to the breaking news. Nominations for the 96th Academy Awards were revealed today. The Christopher Nolan film Oppenheimer led the Oscar contenders with 13 nominations. The fantasy film Poor Things, starring Emma Stone, followed with 11, while Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon got 10 nominations. And in case you're wondering, Barbie got 8. There you go. All right, check this out. The expansion of the universe is well described by the Friedman model. It was derived from general relativity about 100 years ago. Now, the RUDN University astrophysicists have now proven the theoretical possibility of the existence of traversable wormholes in the Friedman universe. The research just published in the journal Universe. They aim to find conditions under which traversable same thing, right? Traversable wormholes could exist and then give them an explanation. The researchers obtained numerical solutions that describe the movement of photons through wormholes connecting different Friedman universes or different parts of the same universe. Whether it will be possible to pass through a wormhole depends on the parameters of the entrance and the initial conditions. The physicists generalized the case of one universe to the case of multiple universes. In this case, the mother universe has several entrances to wormholes that connect it with the daughter universe. Science is right on the edge of a huge breakthrough. A trio of chemists at the Chinese Academy of Sciences and Dalian Institute of Chemical Physics, working with a colleague from the University of Western Ontario, has tied the smallest knot ever, using just 54 atoms. In their study, published in the journal Nature Communications, Ziwen Li, Jing Zhang, Zhao Li, and Richard, Pudafet accidentally tied the knot while trying to create metal acetylides in their lab. Unexpectedly, the result of one reaction created a chain that knotted itself into a trefoil knot with no loose ends. The trefoil knots are used in making pretzels and play a major role in knot theory. The researchers noted that the knot had a backbone crossing ratio of a BCR of 23. Knot BCRs are a measure of the strength of a knot. Most organic knots, the team notes, have a BCR somewhere between 27 and 33. It's nuts. The Federal Trade Commission cracked down on TurboTax, issuing a final order that prohibits the company from calling its services free when most customers end up having to upgrade to paid services. Parent company Intuit had advertised TurboTax as free, even though a majority of customers were in fact ineligible for free services. The Federal Trade Commission sued TurboTax in 2022 over misleading advertising, and the FTC's chief administrative law judge announced an initial decision in September saying Intuit engaged in deceptive advertising in violation of Section 5 of the FTC Act. There you go. Alligators in North Carolina and Texas are surviving a cold snap by suspending their bodies in pond water and letting it freeze solid around them. Only their snouts and front teeth poke through the ice, allowing the alligators to breathe while they wait for the water to thaw. Several alligators were found frozen inside giant ice cubes at the Swamp Park, which is a tourist attraction and alligator sanctuary near Ocean Isle Beach, North Carolina. Another alligator was spotted suspended in an icy pond at the Gator Country Rescue Center in Beaumont, Texas. Both states have experienced temperatures below 30 degrees Fahrenheit in the past week, with a cold snap of 17 degrees Fahrenheit in North Carolina. The Doomsday Clock, that symbolic countdown to human extinction, has stayed at 90 seconds to midnight again this year, the closest it has been since it was established in 1947. 1947. That's all according to a panel of international scientists. The Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists cited the continuing threat of nuclear escalation in Ukraine, the horrors of modern war in Israel and Gaza, and the lack of action on the climate crisis, which threatens billions of lives. The hands of the clock are set each year by the Bulletin Science and Security Board with the support of its board of sponsors, which includes 10 Nobel laureates. The bulletin has been criticized for using scare tactics, with the clock gradually but alarmingly moving closer and closer to midnight over the decades. The closest the clock came to midnight at the height of the Cold War was 11:58 p.m. in 1953 after the first detonation of a thermonuclear warhead. That's right, a hydrogen bomb. In the early 1990s, after the optimism at the end of the Cold War, the clock moved its furthest away from danger and was set at 17 minutes from midnight. It has been moving closer towards extinction ever since. And finally, I'll leave you with this. A British wildlife park has hatched a new plan to rehabilitate its potty-mouthed parrots after they unleashed a tide of, things I can't say on the air. Back in 2020, 5 foul-mouthed African gray parrots donated to Lincolnshire Wildlife Park in England were isolated from the flock in an attempt to improve their language. But as of today, the team is adopting a different, riskier approach of integrating 3 newly donated, happy birds, by the way, named Eric, Captain, and Sheila, alongside the original 5 swearing like a sailor birds into a flock with 92 non-swearing parrots. If the new strategy works, the 8 parrots could learn all of the nice noises that the other parrots in the flock favor, but the other 92 could pick up the sailor talk. Why? Well, African grays are highly social parrots, and researchers believe their intelligence is almost unparalleled in the animal kingdom, comparable to that of apes, whales, and dolphins. Kids, cover your ears. There you go. There's all the Fade to Black breaking news that you need for this Tuesday, January 23rd, 2024. Fade to Black breaking news is produced by Renee Newman. I'm Jimmy Church. I want to remind everybody tonight on Fade to Black, it's Whitley Strieber. But until then, all I've got is go Backley Tappy.